So the first questions are about my inspiration, how I came up with the story, characters and their disorders, if I had everything planned from the start and if I had to make some research about the topics and characters. I've always loved psychology, how minds work, how people behaves, feels and thinks. I've also been really interested in mental disorders, especially since I watched a video of a girl with split personalities caught on camera last year, and since then I started wondering how fascinating human minds can really be. I started reading into it and my mind blew away at all the things I learned about all types of psychological disorders. And the fact that some people really have to suffer from these disorders, made me want to put out a story that deals with these kind of topics and make people aware of them too. Dissociative identity disorder, psychopathy and sociopathy really caught my interest. That's why I chose them for the story. I've had to do a lot of research to really portray each character correctly, looking at each one's behaviors, traits, thought patterns and actions. And now that we're talking about this, let me show you the main characteristics and traits of Jimin and Uni, sociopath versus psychopath, so that you can understand their actions and how the story developed a bit better. And about the plot and story, I had it all planned before publishing it here, so yes, YN has always been the killer from the start. How much did you enjoy people's theorizing? The second most frequent question is about the characters' pasts, families and backstories. What made Uni, Jimin and Tung become the way they are? Let's start with our boy Uni. He was the only son in a family of 5, with his mother, father and 2 younger sisters. Everything seemed to be fine, until one day, his mother became crazy, and out of nowhere, she killed her husband and 2 daughters. She tried to kill Uni too, but he fought with her, and ended up snatching her knife. It was his life or hers, so he ended up killing his mother for his own survival. Psychopathy is heritable, so most probably Uni's mother was also a psychopath and passed it on to Uni. Also the trauma didn't help. Now because he was left without a family, he was sent to an orphanage, and that's where he met Jimin. Now on to Jimin's story. He was only a small kid ready to give so much love, but unfortunately his parents were too busy in their messed up lifestyle, filled with money, alcohol and drugs to care about him. For them, Jimin was only a waste of time and money, and wouldn't give him any kind of affection. The lack of love from his parents started affecting him heavily, and it got worse when they abandoned him in the orphanage. These lifestyle, negative role models, poor discipline, attention deficit and neglection, caused Jimin to develop sociopathy. In the orphanage, he met Uni, and they ended up becoming good friends. Now Tung. He didn't suffer from any disorder, he always had a good life and his parents were very loving. His parents decided to adopt Uni from the orphanage and bring him home to give him a better life. However, Tung noticed very quickly that Uni wasn't a normal boy. Meanwhile, Jimin was left alone once again. His life in the orphanage wasn't easy, he got into many fights and he wasn't a kid easy to deal with. But during that hard time, is when he met the person that became his escape. From the first moment he met Wylan in the swings, he couldn't deny that that girl made him feel different, that she actually made him feel. But when she left he started feeling lonely again. Years passed and at the age of 16 he was allowed to leave, and so he went to find Uni, and that's when he also met Tung. The rest you already know it. He joined the police and became a secret agent to end with bad people while helping the justice system. Now the question is, what Jimin said to YN in the cliff that day about the car accident was a lie. Was he the principal's son? Did he really kill his brother? What Jimin told YN in the cliff that day was a lie. The principal wasn't his mother either. The owners of the psychiatric knew Jimin was a special agent helping the police investigate YN's case, that's why they came up with that cover-up for him, saying he was the principal's son to give a reason as to why he could walk around everywhere so freely. He also didn't talk to anyone there because he wanted to protect his real identity, without people being able to question him or knowing anything about him. YN kept asking Jimin about his past and why he only talked to her, so he came up with that story that could answer her questions without revealing who he was. So yes, the story was a lie in order to protect his identity. His real past is the one I just explained, living most of his first 16 years of life in that orphanage. Why do they say Jimin saved her on the roof that day even though he was encouraging her to jump off? It's called reverse psychology. Jimin knew YN wouldn't jump off if he was there insisting her to do it. He knew she'd do exactly the opposite, get down the edge and confront him about it. Did Uni really not have feelings for YN? Why did he kiss her? Did he like the Red Princess? Will he ever find love or be in a relationship? Uni himself answered this question. It's impossible for Uni to have feelings for someone in a romantic way. It is true that he developed an admiration for YN and the Red Princess. Her mind just fascinated him. He enjoyed messing with her, studying her, seeing what she was capable of doing. But he never loved her, nor the Red Princess. He simply isn't capable of loving. That's how psychopaths are. They can only copy and pretend emotions, but they can't feel. So all those stories about psychopaths falling in love, they are all a lie. I wanted to portray characters as realistically as possible. That's why I didn't make Uni fall in love. Everything was a game for Uni, he said so many times. When he kissed her in the forest, that was one of his ways of messing with her. At that moment, YN thought he was the killer, so he just took advantage of the situation and asked her to kiss him to see how she would react. Would the Red Princess come out? Would she resist? Would she give in to her own killer? Or would she just pretend to gain his trust? He loved seeing her reactions, seeing her struggling to survive. His own enjoyment is what drove most of his decisions. What about the red circle under Uni's name? What did it mean? It simply meant that he was very dangerous patient. That's why he was initially blindfolded and Dr. Kim didn't want YN to talk to him. Did Jungkook have feelings for YN? Did he like her more than a friend? Is YN still wearing his bracelet? Jungkook did have some feelings for YN in the beginning. That was clear in the way he acted around her and hence the reason why he gave her that bracelet. And about the bracelet, after officially starting to date Jimin, I don't think he would have liked her wearing something that another guy gave her, especially with romantic feelings involved. You already know how scary but sexy at the same time he can get. So instead of wearing it, she probably saved it somewhere safe as a good memory of her friends and everything she lived in that madhouse. But then, why was Jungkook in the front cover and thumbnail together with the other three? What was his role? Why didn't I include him more? The reason why I didn't include Jungkook in the last episodes is because he simply wasn't part of the plan. He didn't know anything that was going on. It wouldn't make sense if he suddenly appeared out of nowhere when he had nothing to do with it. Jungkook's role was simply a character to distract the readers and add more suspicion to the story. Let's be real, at one point most of you thought Jungkook was the killer. Even after Uni came out as the killer, even after it was revealed that the three of them were involved, and even after it was shown how YN killed her own parents, people still suspected Jungkook. That's also the reason why Jungkook is in the thumbnail together with the others. The ones who appear in the thumbnail are usually the main characters, so I wanted you to think that one of them must be the killer. If I didn't include Jungkook, you probably would have thought his character wasn't as important and wouldn't have suspected him as much. So what happened to Hanni, Jihyo and Jungkook? Did YN ever see them again? What are they doing now? Don't worry guys, Hanni, Jihyo and Jungkook are living normal and happy lives. As you know, YN and the three crazy guys can't risk themselves to be exposed to people who knows them or that know what happened, because that would complicate their situation and the truth could be found out. For that reason, I don't think YN would have seen her friends again after they last saw each other in the hospital. Now, if Jungkook and Jihyo got together in the end, that's up to you to decide. What happened with Hoseok and Jin? Did the police stop searching for the killer? Are they still looking for YN after 7 years? Who got blamed for the murder in the end? If you remember in episode 15, when Jimin was talking to Uni about the police, he said that he made sure the police would never find their location, and that the case was cooling down, so it would be closed soon. After 7 years, Hoseok and Jin are still working with the police, but YN's case has already been closed with no success of finding the killer. The one who got blamed for the murder of her parents was Uni, as he was the one who kidnapped her from the madhouse and since then he was never to be seen again, but Jimin contributed a lot into making the case cool down quickly. Right now, Jimin isn't working with the police anymore. He probably quitted when they formed their own justice system, as seen in the bonus episode to capture and kill criminals by their own rules. Who was the woman in the bonus episode? Was it YN or the Red Princess? Did the Red Princess disappear? Or did she take over YN? Can they still exchange personalities? Why are they going to Russia? The woman with the red dress in the bonus episode is YN, not the Red Princess. She was able to accept both of her personalities, both sides of herself, both of her personas. See what I did there? So now she's able to portray traits of each one as well. Let's just say she became a mixture of both, becoming a bit twisted but still doing it for a good cause. Also living for 7 years with Uni and Jimin wouldn't have helped her to keep her sane at all. The Red Princess will always be inside her, because it is a part of her. However, there's no need for her to come out again as YN is not going through any traumatic experience anymore, and as you know she just came out to protect her from the trauma. And they are going to rush you to capture their next victims and make them pay for all the bad things they've done. I really want to know if Jimin liked his Russian name. Jimin approved it. Here's the real question everyone needs the answer to: how on earth is Jimin this beautiful? I also ask myself that question every day. How do I recover from the madness? It's simple. You don't. Can I be the last question? Yes you can. I didn't answer all the questions because this would have been an hour-long video, but if I didn't answer your question and you really want to know, please comment below and I'll try to answer. Also, there were a lot of questions that are answered in the FF itself, so please go and read it again. Okay. Now let's continue with the fun part. Fiercely, let's see your beautiful fanarts. You are all so talented, I love them all so much. Okay. Now let's laugh a little, let's see your memes.
Good evening.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
No thanks.
Don't mind me, I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
I don't know what y'all. Ah! You better stop! Stop! Bitch, stop!
I don't need friends. They disappoint me.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
This is your opinion.
I'm fast as fuck, boy!
Why you bully me?
Why are you running? Why are you—
Miss Keisha. Miss Keisha. Oh my fucking god, she fucking dead.
We all die. You either kill yourself or get killed.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Well, just as I thought, trash.
Fake Night Part 2. Hey, McCart, watch this.
What are you doing?
Why would you kill him like that?
Your neck.
This chicken is almost as juicy as my ass.
You fool, I'm glad we got our independence. Can you imagine me British? Eating tea and dunking crumper?
How are you doing tonight?
I wanna fucking die.
Same.
You saved my life. It's what I do. What's your name? The name's Evan. Evan. Evan Essence.
Oh. What are you... Oh, my man.
I don't understand. I don't understand, bitch. I don't understand. I don't understand.
For me, that's all I need, yeah. Baby, you're all I need, yeah. You're my G. Bad bitch, no underwear.
Fight me. Square up.
Hi, my name's Derek. Welcome to Pizza Hut. Let me guess, pizza.
I don't give a. Do I look like I got? Because I don't.
Ah, silly bitch.
Okay. Let's move on to your videos. And now hold on because you're about to see some beautiful faces.
Hey girl, ignore the hair, ignore the edges. I did not plan any of this. But I just want to tell you real quick that I love Madhouse so much, and it's amazing, and I'm going to read it again. That's not going to be the first time I ever read it. Madhouse taught me that bad days, bad times don't last forever. You will find the light will find you. I don't know what I'm saying. Bear with me. What else? Madhouse put me through a roller coaster, okay? Like, I cried, I laughed, I had a seizure, I almost threw my cat against the wall because of those cliffhangers, okay? I have a love and hate relationship with cliffhangers, but yeah, my house is amazing. I love you. I love your fan fictions, and I love all the other subscribers, and I will support you always. Us girls gotta stick together. Okay, alright, I gotta go, but yeah.
Okay, so I'm really nervous right now and fangirling so much because I just finished reading all of Madhouse and my heart's still beating so fast. But first of all, thank you for making all of your works. My First Love, Obsession, Madhouse. Congrats on all of your stories for the success of all of them. And for Madhouse was a very thrilling experience. It was the reason why I wake up every day, and especially now it's summer for us, and I had nothing to do here at home, and it was just a very entertaining journey when I was reading it, and the amount of thought that was put into the plot, the details, it was very amazing, and I just love all your works. Madhouse was very confusing and very very nervous to read because at first I thought it was Jungkook at first, then Yoongi, then your story, the original idea, the two personalities thing. I thought of that, but I disregarded it. And then I thought it was Jimin, thought it was Taeyong, then I thought it was Yoongi again. It just made me feel many things all at once, because there were many scary parts. Like I thought like when there was a jump scare or something, or like when you put the sound effects for the door, the high heels clicking. It was very real for me when I was reading it. The amount of detail like that was put into it made me feel like I was reenacting it myself when I was just reading it in my house, lying on my bed. My sister had to witness my screams, my gasps, my sighs, my craziness, and all of that Madhouse journey. And I've been so inspired. I still can't get over it right now because I just finished watching all of those episodes, and it was just a very heartwarming, heartbreaking in a way, heart exploding journey for me, and you never fail to make us readers feel inspired and very like make us feel like we're always there, make us feel like, I don't know. I didn't think this through, but it's just, I love the story. It made me feel like I was really there, and the amount of screams I had, I don't know, it was infinity and beyond. But okay, for the last time, I will say this: I love your stories, I love the plot, I love everything about all your fanfics, and I hope you good luck in your future works, and thank you for your works.
Hello. Okay, I have to talk into this mini microphone because my voice is basically dead. Okay, so your stories are very amazing, very good content, and I just wanted to tell you that I love your stories, and I love Madhouse because it's good, and I love you, and I love everyone, and I love food. Your story is just so good. Ariana Grande who? Bye.
You guys are seriously the cutest. You also need to see this incredible reaction video. You girls put so much effort into it, thank you so much, seriously.
Hello? What? Oh God! Fuck! Okay. ShaniraJi has uploaded a new. Nobody, I repeat, nobody messes with my state! Are you sure?
A few moments later.
You are nice. Keep going. Popcorn, there's even a murder mystery in this FM!
One eternity later. One eternity later.
Now we can continue together! Okay, now I want to say that. 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 Me!
A few moments later.
We want to say that you make the best FFs ever. You deserve an Oscar. You literally made me mad with your madhouse. And yeah, we have no shame in saying that we were mad with your madhouse. Lastly, we have our own channel. Wait a second. What about disappointed? She literally disappointed us, yeah? How did you make such a great FF? Like, seriously? When I was watching the FF, I was like, what the hell is going on? Okay, I did. Overacting, sorry. You made us disappointed! Yeah, you literally made us disappointed, but. You are so good. It was a great FF, yeah, a totally great FF. And yep, last but not the least, okay, where's my eyes? Okay, it's over here. Last but not the least, this was your idea. Blooper! This is a blooper! This was your idea, wasn't it? God. Last but not the least, we ourselves run a fan fiction channel. It's a BDS fan fiction channel, and its name is Fan Fiction Hub. The first FF which is going on is Thai FF, and the name of Thai FF is My Life is Alive. Do watch. Stay tuned with us and give honest reviews. Like, no dislikes. Do watch. And if you don't, I will tell you. No, I think.
To finish off, I'll also show some letters I received and the beautiful messages you sent me.